people that will be
Yeah.
watching it.
Yeah, it's
Love
in
it.
there. So, hey, welcome back, everybody that was watching earlier. I am live again due to a communication error with Grace Cecilia.
Woo!
My safe word is murder, which is an Australian rock band you should check out. But anyway, I thought we were doing this tomorrow.
Yep.
Technically, it is tomorrow in Australia because the international date line is somewhere in the Pacific, and
Yeah.
yeah, communication error. Here we are now. So yeah, hello. How are you tonight? Also, I moved my camera and I don't like it. Normally it's over here. I kind of look a little bit more towards the fucking. How are you tonight, Grace?
Okay. I'm good. It is 1:47 p.m. in Melbourne, Australia right now. So I've been up for a couple hours and I'm alive and well. How are you?
I'm good. I know you were in on the last show, which was once again yesterday. And kind of got into it, which is good though, because like I'm already a little bit liquored up, so that means the
It'll be
conversation
fun.
be a little more fast paced. And if we want to immediately start talking about fucking Bigfoot, we can do that. But
Yeah.
what I was going to say earlier was one of the reasons I started doing this. There's a couple different reasons, but like one of them was like I know you were around for a bit when I was like doing the Instagram live thing every fucking weekend. But the I don't know if Instagram decided to tell me to go screw myself or if my internet just kind of shut out. But like I can't be on Instagram live for more than like half an hour now, or else it just like gets glitchy and bounces off. And I like talking to people because like I spent a lot of time in the Marines, and I'd live in a barracks, which is imagine like an apartment building, but with literally zero privacy. So at any given time, I can walk outside and just fucking talk to somebody. So I've been used to a decade of, all right, well, I'm going to go outside and smoke and then like kind of get lost for 3 hours just talking to people. I don't get that anymore. I miss it. And this, what the Instagram live thing was translated over to this, where I just get to fucking talk to people. I'm taking it. So yes.
Yeah. That's really sad. I feel like Instagram is slowly just destroying itself for creators. And I think that the new algorithm that they have, when instead of liking and sharing and commenting, where that would boost your post, now it's everyone has to save and comment and share, and likes don't mean anything. And with the live thing, like you used to be able to go live for as long as you wanted, but now you have to have like 10K followers or something.
Yeah, and it's like limited like 45 minutes or like an hour maybe. Yeah. Dude, no, what pisses me off the most about Instagram is when you go to like the search button, the little magnifying glass. I don't know what it's actually called. I remember back in the day, you just find people that like their profiles were similar to the stuff that else you would search, right? And now it's like every fucking one of those is like 20,000 fucking, not even followers, likes on this post. So you can't find small original creators anymore unless somebody's friend was cool and fucking shared it directly to you. Like you can't just discover people anymore. And you're frozen. No. Seems to be the theme of the night, guys. Sorry.
There we are.
Are we? Maybe.
We're back.
Yeah, no, I'm getting back like
in the room. I can see myself.
Okay, I think I can hear you.
Can you see me?
No, but I can hear you. So I guess that's good enough for right now.
Oh no.
Oh no, it is terrible. It's the absolute worst. We're not even 5 minutes.
I think we got Bigfoot.
Bigfoot. Oh yeah, no, like I went on a rant about Bigfoot.
Yeah, I want to talk about Bigfoot.
Yeah, tell me about Bigfoot, because you saw some documentary about it.
Yes. Okay, so I listened to this American podcast called Spooked because it's Halloween season and I want to have nightmares. And one of the episodes was about, I thought it was a fish and wildlife officer. He's actually a border patrol officer. And so he was working on the borders, and they got a call out to this area somewhere in the bush, somewhere in America. And some bodies just show up there, just transparently, just sometimes there's bodies. So they went out there and they're looking, and he was with a junior officer and a senior, and then they hear cougars, and they were like, I've never heard a cougar scream before. And so then he was like, it sounds like a woman being murdered. That's what cougar screams sound like. And then they see this cougar and it's coming towards them and they start freaking out and they try to pull out their guns, but they had some weird holster that they'd never used before and the gun's stuck and it's like worst nightmare. This cougar's just running at them. And then the cougar goes straight past them and jumps onto the deer, which was behind them. And that's what it wanted. But then they hear this weird noise and they just hear the cougar like it'd been thrown, like just completely fucking thrown. And they're freaking out and they're like, what is bigger than a cougar? Like, there's no bears out here. They don't think there's bears. And so they're like, oh, maybe there's a bigger cougar. And then they walk towards the sound and it was near some water. And then they hear in the water like footsteps, like there are people walking, like someone on two legs walking through the water. But it was like they're saying the footsteps just could not have been made by a human because the splashes they were making are just so fucking loud and it was really weird and they're getting freaked out. And then they just see this like massive, dark, tall shadow just walk out of the water, just throwing fucking cougars, something whack like that. And then they have someone who's watching on a like heat signature gadget Madhu. I'm sure you know more about that than me. And they said that whatever it was in the water was giving off the largest heat signature they had ever seen. And it was like some vet who was on it. And he's like, I have been doing this for decades and I have never seen anything like this before. And so then they're telling them like, oh, you know, we've heard that there are 300-pound like mountain lions out there and it might be that. And they're like, this thing's on two fucking legs and it's in the water and it's walking out of the fucking water. What is this? And so they're told to pull back because they see the heat signature running towards them. Like it starts running out of the water, it's coming towards them. And they get the fuck out of there. And ever since then, they have been thinking Bigfoot's out there. And some fish and wildlife dudes, they came out the next day and they were looking for like scat samples. And they're like, this agent goes up to them and he's like, you know, I counted this thing one night and it freaked the fuck out of all of us. We don't understand what happened. Is there like Bigfoot out here just as a joke? And they were like, well, we actually think that there's a family of them that live out here.
Okay, so a few things with that. I'm gonna teach you a little bit about American stereotypes towards Australians with this a little bit. But first off, you guys have the word cougar as slang in Australia?
Yeah.
Okay, so that whole time I'm thinking, all right, so this sounds like me leaving the fucking bar at 3:00 in the morning, but got it. But then I was also thinking when they called in the next guy to look for scat, I'm like, wait, so is Steve Irwin coming out to like find because I want to see, I know, God rest his soul, blessed be his name.
God rest his soul.
But I kind of want to see an episode, like if he was still around now, like I'm sure like at some point the Crocodile Hunter show would have, stopped because that show was famous fucking 20 years ago. And he would have to move on something else. And like I would love to see the one where he just goes looking for like Bigfoot and the Flatwoods Monster and all this shit. He's like, oh, see this? This is a beaut.
Yeah.
It's a big steaming pile of Bigfoot scat. Yeah.
He so would have done that. He used to eat gecko shit and like we have like these giant monitor lizards in Australia and he would like pick up this scat and like smell it and like eat it and be like, yeah, this is like 10 hours old. And then he'd just pull it out of like a rock. He was a absolute legend, an icon.
Yeah, like even over here, like he was such a big thing in American culture to where like most of the time, like when we're talking about Australians, we're like, because like America and Australia does have a lot of history together. However, in the current vernacular, it's like, yeah, Steve Irwin.
Steve Irwin, right? Yeah.
like him and Crocodile Dundee, but like mostly Steve Irwin. And
mostly Steve Irwin, yeah.
Yeah.
He was
yeah, dude, I would love to watch a Steve Irwin show where he's hunting a fucking Bigfoot.
Yeah, it's so sad. His daughter, do you know anything about his daughter, Bindi?
The only thing I really know about his daughter is I saw her and his son, the brother and the sister started some zoo or took over the family zoo. I don't know which one it was.
Yeah, they all work there. It's still run in the family, and his wife Terry still owns it and works in there. But yeah, his daughter's like pregnant now and married, and it's like, oh my god, I feel so old.
Yeah, no, it's like on one hand, it's like, dude, that's fucking amazing. You fucking hold that up. On the other hand, it's like, dude, I feel really sad because Steve isn't here to see this.
Yeah, no, totally. But yeah, it's in good hands. Their family's really amazing, so
Yeah.
it's
And,
good.
and that's the America. That's the difference between Australia and America. In Australia, you have the crocodile hunter. In America, we have the fucking tiger king.
Yeah, dude, I want to talk about that. I don't understand, looking from outside perspective, what the fuck is wrong with people from Florida? Like, what is
So
it?
first off, that guy was from Oklahoma. I'm gonna.
Oh, was he?
Um,
Okay.
second off, I'm from Florida, and that's not out. That's rich Oklahoma. That's lower middle class Florida. So
Okay.
it's
Oh
like,
my
oh, hey,
God.
cool. You guys are doing that over there in the, I guess they're not the Midwest, but wherever the fuck
Yeah.
they're at. Like, all right, cool. Yeah, that's Tuesday for me, man.
Oh my God, dude.
Like, no, it was funny because I was watching it and I texted my sister and
Yeah.
I was like, hey, have you seen Tiger King? She's like, yeah. Oh, yeah. And then I was like, hey, so does Joe Exotic remind you of our old stepmom? And then like my sister calls me like, holy fucking shit, that's Debbie. Like fucking
Oh
like
no.
no, it's weird. So like my dad dated this chick for like 10 years.
Yeah.
Kind of looked like him, even like kind of like middle age, like a little bit of a beer gut. Besides that, like pretty much in good shape. Wore a lot of
Blonde mullet.
animal fucking print, always fucking hammered and had a gun.
Oh my God. Okay. Maybe your dad did date Joe and you just don't know.
Maybe, maybe. No, but I have a
Haven't
couple of
realized.
friends. I have a couple of friends that have been to that zoo, and one of my buddies,
Uh-huh.
my buddy Jude. I don't know if you were
Yeah.
listening, but the guy I was talking about puking on. He was saying he was there when he was a kid because he lives in Texas, and it's like maybe half an hour away from there. So it's like, hey,
Oh
go
wow.
weekend or whatever. And he was saying that he went up there with his wife, and there was something wrong with one of the tigers, and they were like, they tranquilized it and they were moving it, but they couldn't carry it. And like, hey, you come over here and help us carry this. And they're like dumb tourists, and they're like, all
Oh
right,
my
cool.
God.
And then like 3 years later, it's like they're sitting at home, sitting on the couch watching Netflix, like, oh my god, I was fucking
I
there,
was
man.
there. I don't know how to react. That just seems so surreal. And watching that documentary, and like I follow a couple of YouTubers that keep their own like reptiles and animals, and they're from Florida. It seems like that's just like normal. It's just a thing. And it was just
Yeah,
broadcast to the outside world. And there's like, yo, that's fucked up. What are you doing?
yeah.
What?
The short answer is I don't know what the fuck is wrong with Florida. I just know that it is fucked
It
up.
is.
The way I would
It
like
is
to
what it
describe,
is.
yeah, the way I would like to describe Florida is if you're within 2 miles of either the interstate or the beach, it's what you see in
Mm,
movies.
okay.
Everything else is what you see on like live police fucking TV shows.
Okay. That's so weird, dude.
Yeah.
That's
Like
so weird.
like what is it? It was a couple years ago. I don't know if you guys heard about it, but there was this stuff that was going around. It was marketed as bath salts, but it was actually just like crystal meth. And
Mm.
homeless people were eating people's faces. And like the first case
Oh,
of it,
the
yeah,
zombie.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
I
like
remember that.
the first time it happened, it was like somewhere in the Midwest, and like everybody was like freaked the fuck out. But then it happened in Florida, and it's like, okay, cool. So
It's
it's
with Florida.
Wednesday. Like, what's the big deal? I don't fucking get it.
Yeah, I remember that. They were calling it flacker or something. Or maybe that's what we have in Australia, but we have a really bad ice epidemic in Australia. I
What
don't
is that?
think we have. So it's a methamphetamine. But we don't have meth, I think, which is
Okay.
what you guys have. We don't have that over here, I think. I don't know. But yeah, we have a pretty bad ice epidemic, which is a methamphetamine. And yeah, similar kind of stuff. People just have like superpowers when they're on it. And we call them crackheads, which
Yeah.
probably, oh no, yeah, which isn't nice. But it's kind of been taken on into Australian slang, where it's just like if you have like a bunch of energy or you do anything, you're just called a crackhead.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like just seeped into our culture now.
Yeah, no, we got the
Um,
same slang. I think you can thank us and Netflix for that. Welcome to the
yeah.
vernacular.
Cool. But yeah, so yeah, we have similar stuff like that. Like there's been some crazy like ice battles, like crackhead versus crackhead, in Australia for sure. But it's like, yeah. Australia's
Um,
pretty wild.
my buddy Matt in the comments, he's not a border patrol agent, but something similar. But he's saying ICE and
Okay.
meth are the same thing. So
Okay. All right. Thank you.
congratulations, you have meth.
We have meth.
I don't think we're
Maybe
celebrating
it's crack that we don't have.
that.
Maybe it's crack.
Yeah, no, there's
I
this
feel like,
big
yeah.
thing though, because like crack comes from cocaine. However, there's a pretty big. Actually, it used to be a conspiracy theory until later we found out that like it's true.
It's
But like
true.
no. So like the Central Intelligence Agency was just like bringing in crack to like in the 1980s and bringing it into poor communities. Be like, yeah, listen, black people, you're doing too good right now. Here's some new drugs.
Mm,
Have fun, go fuck yourself. So
yeah.
yeah,
And then white people took it over, didn't we?
yeah,
That's what
yeah. White
happened.
people will fucking take
The
over
crack.
everything. It
That's
doesn't
you
matter.
call them crackers, don't you? White people on drugs.
Y yes and no. Like if you say it, we know what we're talking about, and it is said a lot, like in TV. But I don't know anybody that says it in real life. Kind of the same thing
Okay.
with like honky.
Okay.
Like
I'm just reading your friends' comments now.
oh
Concentrate. Okay, thank you. If you can't tell, I don't know anything about drugs because I don't do them. So it's probably a good thing.
well, no, because it's funny because like my wife is a drug and alcohol counselor. Like she works at
Oh,
a
cool.
halfway house,
Mhm,
and it's kind of weird because like she comes home, tells me about her day or whatever,
mhm.
and half the time it's like, oh man, that's a really fucking sad fucked up story. Like this dude started doing
Mm,
fucking cocaine when he was fucking 7 after his like
yeah,
uncle fucking raped him or some shit.
yeah,
Fuck, that's terrible. But then the other half of it's like this guy ruined his life by drinking 3 beers a night, and it's like, all right, dude, listen, that's fucking weak shit. You need to up your game
yeah,
if you're gonna let that get you into the fucking rehab. Like,
yeah,
listen, I don't know your entire fucking life story, but
yeah.
if drinking 3 beers to a 6 pack ruins your life,
Yeah.
maybe you deserve to not be in the fucking gene pool.
No, yeah. No, I feel like that I'd get tipsy from that, but I feel like I would still be able to function
Yeah. I mean,
doing
like,
that. I don't
granted,
know.
like, I have a skewed version of that because, naval service. So, like,
Yeah.
I have a monstrous alcohol tolerance.
Monstrous tolerance. Yeah. Oh, dude, I can imagine that.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah, totally. But yeah, anyway, just like you guys have really cool monster stories in America. Especially like I think it's in like the South, like where it's like where are all your swamps? Florida's swampy, isn't it? You've got your swamp monsters.
Yes. And it's kind of weird because, so, like, Florida and, like, Louisiana are swamps
Mm,
now. And they're, like, kind of close together. There's, like, 2 states between them, but, like, the states are, like, just, like, little nibs.
yeah.
Back in the day before like we tore up all the forests, like all of the South was a fucking swamp. So
Mhm,
like as of like maybe about 100 years ago, it's like Florida, Louisiana, and like a little bit of the states in between. But
mhm,
yeah, no, like another thing, in Florida there's something similar to Bigfoot, but it's called the
mhm.
skunk ape or the swamp ape.
Yeah. Okay. And that's just something that lives in the swamps.
Yeah, yeah, Bigfoot looking motherfucker. Like what is it,
Okay.
you ever see the movie Swamp Thing?
No, I haven't.
It was an 80s movie. It was a bad 80s movie, but it was like great at the
Okay.
same time. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know how you are with that, but like I love shitty fucking horror movies. Like that's my
Yeah, they're so good.
um,
Yeah.
but there was one called Swamp Thing where I forget exactly what happened, but like there was some dude and something went wrong in the woods and he got
Mhm.
turned into like the big swamp thing. And like half the movie, like a third of the movie was like just dealing with the fact that he's a monster now. A third of the
Oh
movie was like
God.
getting revenge on the people that did it to him, and a third of the movie was trying to get his girlfriend to accept him now that he's a Bigfoot swamp monster thing.
This
But
is
like
what I am, Bibi.
he would come out of the fucking bayou, and like
Yeah.
the costume was like made out of seaweed, and like it
Ooh.
looked like somebody puked up a bunch of sushi.
Ooh.
But it was in the 80s, so they had practical effects. So it was like, it looks like somebody might have actually puked up sushi and just glued it together for your costume.
Uh, that was their aim for the costume design.
Yeah.
That was a little note written in. That's hilarious. There's this because I just been going on like just like benders, watching and reading as much horror stuff as I can. And there's this apparent a monster. I forgot what part again. I'm so bad, but somewhere it might have been in Louisiana as well. It was somewhere where there's swamplands that the French lived in. It was like one of the French quarters of America, and they have this like werewolf myth, and it came from France, and it's like this cursed werewolf that comes out, and they have a festival every year. If anyone in the comments knows what I'm talking about, I'm so sorry. I'm such a
No, I
bad
have to
guest.
check that out. It is probably Louisiana, and it's funny about that. So like, we bought a good third of our landmass in North America from Napoleon. And like the Napoleonic Wars were going on, France had most of what's the center of the United States. And he came down to this idea where it was like, okay, so either I sell this to the Americans and it's their problem, or I have to defend it from the British.
Okay.
Easy
Yeah.
answer. Hey, guys, you want this? You want it cheap? Here you go.
Mm.
But in American, I guess, culture, we only recognize that like Louisiana was French, and the rest of it was like, no, that was just there when we got it. We didn't buy that.
It just appeared.
Yeah. Well,
I
yeah, like
love it.
same thing with most of the West, because the other third of it was all Mexico at one point. And then Texas used to be a state in Mexico, and then they had a rebellion, and then they became their own country for a bit. And then after they said we want to join America, well, immediately after that we had a civil war, and like we fucked up all of our fucking shit. But then
Everything.
after we kind of got our shit back together, we're like, all right, so that other stuff that like used to be Mexico, we're gonna go get that too. So
Yeah. It's ours now. Tommy found it. It's a rougarou.
it's a what?
A rougarou.
Rougarou. I'm gonna have to write that.
Rougarou. Yeah, it was very interesting. So in France, they have this tale about it, and it was like one of those tales that they use to keep kids inside at night. And if you go out, the rougarou will come get you. And then they say it was brought over from the French.
Oh, those.
But there's a festival every year where they dress up as like the rougarou, wherever it's located, and they dress up as it every year and have a festival about it. And I thought that was really cool.
That's kind of funny. Also, the French are kind of a weird thing in America too, because like us and the French have, besides like 3 years in the early 1800s, like us and France have been like thicker than fucking blood. But if you ask any American about the French, it's all negative fucking opinions. I don't know what it is. Like the actual countries like each other, but the people fucking hate each other for some reason. I don't know where that came from.
I think culturally, the French, because I know French people, I know American people, I think culturally they are quite different. And I think that, because I think American culture and Australian culture is very similar, because we got a lot of our culture from American TV and films. But yeah, the French are like kind of often dissed off as being very like snobby and rude and offensive. But where the rest of us are kind of like, oh, that's a bit rude. That's just them, I think.
Well, I think another thing that goes into it though too is to different degrees, both America and Australia can be seen as England's fucking stepkids, and England and France, their entire history is like, hey, fuck you, no, fuck you, well, fuck you, buddy. So
they still like that. English people and French people still don't like each other.
I heard somebody, I don't remember who it was, but somebody on somebody else's podcast was talking about that. And this wasn't like our level podcast. It was like, actual real podcast, not the bullshit.
Real podcast.
But they were like, no, like the only people that it's acceptable to be racist towards in England is the French. And that's because they fought like a war together for 100 years, and the British were going to win. But then God showed up at the like fucking last minute and like won the war for them with like Joan of Arc or Joan of Arc.
Yes. Yeah, very strange history. England is just like when you look at what England did to a lot of countries, it's pretty fucked up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair though, at the time, it's like, yeah, dude, everybody was doing fucked up shit. So it's whatever. Like, I remember I was having a conversation in one of my classes. I think it was a philosophy class. And we were talking about, I don't know how to pronounce his name. It's spelled Konte. I don't know if it's Kant or Kanta. And we're talking about this dude's philosophy, and somebody's like, oh, well, he said this and that, and he's got really good philosophy, but let's also bring up that he was also a glaring racist. And I was like, really? A German guy in the 1800s is a racist? I can't imagine that.
They all were in today's standards.
Yeah. Well, dude, like, our grandparents are fucking racist in like today's standards,
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, I have some interesting conversations with my granddad. He's like a white Australian man, and yeah, he's definitely pretty backwards, but
Well,
he's open to new ideas.
oh, dude, no, it's not even that. So, like, my dad's side of the family is all native, right? Um,
Okay.
and like my granddad is one of the most racist dudes I ever met, but he's also not white. So it's like I don't know how I'm allowed to feel about this, but
Yeah.
go on about it, dude.
Yeah, okay, granddad.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. I think Native American culture is so fucking interesting. I remember I went through a phase when I was younger because I was really into creepypastas. You know what they are?
Creepypastas, yeah, I haven't seen any in a while, but like I remember I
I
used to play
know.
Slender Man like back in the day.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I back in the day when I was like 13, 14, I used to be like famous in the creepypasta world 'cause I used to write them and I my tag was Grace the Killer, which is so cringe. But anyway,
Well,
we
actually, on that, I want you to name something you did as a teenager that wasn't fucking cringe when you look back at it.
yeah, exactly. No, it's so bad. But anyway, there was this story about the goat man. I don't know if you ever heard about it. And there was
In Maryland,
yes.
yeah,
Oh my
yeah,
fucking
I used to live
god.
like 10 miles away from where that was supposed
Did
to.
you?
Yeah, yeah, because that's like right
Dude,
outside of Washington D.C.
that story
So
scarred me.
yeah, yeah, the goat man at the bridge.
Yeah, that's horrifying. And then there was also a couple popular stories about skinwalkers. And
Mm.
I was listening to a podcast last night about them, and that's also fucking scary. There was this native, I think he was a teenager when it happened, and he was saying that his dad, and his grandfather have all seen the same skinwalker, like it's connected to their family somehow, and it just happens randomly in their lives where they just see this skinwalker, and it tries to connect with them, and like it's chased them in cars and like all this scary shit. And I'm like, oh my God. And just the way he said it was so believable as well.
Well, no, see, the
Oh,
Skinwalker is fucking scary because, like, if you look at it, the Skinwalker used to be a human and then did some like abhorrent shit that like turned
yeah.
him into whatever creature, spirit thing
Yeah.
fucking it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. Nah, that's scary. Is there a, because that's also similar to the Wendigo as well, isn't it?
Um, Similar, but like different backstories and then like different tribes. So like the Wendigo, if I remember right, is like a northeast thing, and
Mhm.
the Skinwalker is like a southwest thing. And
Okay.
there's like a whole litany of shit on the in between that
Hmm.
they wouldn't have ever come in contact with each other. However, given that all in native fucking indigenous Indians, whatever you want to call them, came over from the land bridge, what,
Hmm.
20,000 years ago, like something happened probably in Mongolia and it stayed in the culture. And then when they bumped over,
Okay.
'cause I think the
Tommy,
closest,
yeah,
what,
Tommy said Wendigo and Skinwalker is different tribes.
yeah,
So is it Revenge Spirit is a Western tribes mostly?
yeah.
Okay, so they're kind of like the same idea, but different parts of the culture.
Right, right. And then you have like 10,000 years of, different story lining up.
Hmm.
And like, you know, the telephone game, right? Where like if I tell you something and you tell Bob something and Bob tells
It's
Jeanette
all
something,
different. Yeah.
yeah. Like same like basis stays there, but like the rest of it fucking
Different.
wins out.
Seth is saying Wendigo was what happened if you ate human flesh.
Yeah, same
Okay.
thing with the Skinwalker.
And yeah, Skinwalker's like if you kill someone, you turn into a Skinwalker, right?
Not it wasn't necessarily killing somebody because like there's a million different ways to kill somebody. I think it had to be a certain malicious type of killing somebody because like at the same time, I do know that the Apache, they
Mhm.
had the Skinwalker, which would happen if you ate somebody, but I think it was like if you ate somebody but was also practicing witchcraft. However,
Yeah.
the Apaches also had a thing where if you killed somebody like on the battlefield and ate them, like you'd get their strength. So it's just like
Okay.
the intent behind the meal.
Okay. Hmm.
So if you eat a fucking cheeseburger and you're like, hey, I'm gonna eat this cheeseburger with my girlfriend because I love her. We're gonna have a good cheeseburger and we're gonna get strong. However, if I'm gonna eat
Yeah.
this cheeseburger because this cow spat at me and fuck that fucking cow,
Fuck that cow.
then you get your evil spirit. I know that's like a broad generalization and all that, but
Okay. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, Seth's saying it had to be an unjustifiable murder. Okay. That's it. Yeah, dude, that's so interesting. Just everything about the culture is very, very interesting
Yeah,
to me.
I kind of wish though that like they got to the point like where they were out of so yeah, no matter how you look at it, fucking the natives over here were still in the Stone Age. Um More developed Stone Age, but still Stone Age. But I kind of wish they had got to the point where they developed writing so that like we can look back and like see what the fuck they were talking about instead of relying on word of mouth. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's yeah, very similar in Australia. Our Indigenous Australians, the Aboriginal people, they told stories verbally, and that's been taken down. And they also did cave paintings as well, but everything's passed through word of mouth and passed through their languages. And they have hundreds of different languages across Australia because it's such a large place where they all settled. So yeah,
So
very very similar.
something fun about the Aborigines. I don't know if you know this, but if not, I'm gonna give my fucking viewers a fucking history lesson. So you know how like everybody came from Africa, right?
Hmm.
Africa and then moved out. The people that were in Africa, like say, fucking 10,000 years ago, they're not the same people that left. So like there were people in Africa. There something happened. I don't remember what it was. There's a name for this extinction event, but people left Africa. Something happened. It was like a comet that hit or volcano that exploded. Something happened. Everybody on the planet died, minus like 10,000 fucking people. And they were in, I think, the Caucasus, like between Europe and Asia. And then after that, those 10,000 people, spread out. So like the Africans that are in Africa now left from the Caucasus back down there, and the people went to Europe and Asia and all that. But they did this thing where they went back and like took DNA samples from like everybody on the fucking planet around there. And Aborigines are the closest thing to what Homo sapiens sapien was 100,000 years ago
Yeah.
than anything else. So like original Africans, 100,000 years ago, Aborigines are closer to that genetically than the people that are native in Africa now. It's
Yeah.
just kind of like
Yeah.
weird how that works.
It's amazing. Yeah, we up until a couple years ago, scientists or archaeologists here thought that Indigenous people had only lived in Australia for the last 30,000 years or 20,000 years. And we found out in the last few years that they have been here for at least 60,000 years in
Yeah.
Australia. So
Yeah.
it's like just crazy how long they've been here and the way that they worked with the land because we have insane bushfires. Like last year we had the most devastating bushfires in Australia, and the way that they managed the land and did controlled fires to just keep it so healthy, the way they lived in nature was just amazing. And I think that we could definitely go back to some of the things they did and protect ourselves. And I think that's similar in America. The native people also did controlled fires, right? And they don't
Yeah.
let.
Like so California, our West Coast is like burning to the fucking ground right now. And it's because there's a lot of reasons that go into it. Like one of them is obviously climate change, but the big factor is that they've been trying to preserve the forest.
Hmm.
And what people don't realize is if nobody lives in a forest, it's just completely uninhabited besides, fucking like animals and bugs and plants and shit.
Hmm.
Once or twice a year, lightning will strike something will catch on fire, and half of it will fucking burn down.
Yeah.
And other underbrush will get burnt into ash, and ash is very fertile.
Yeah.
Seeds will fall down, grow out of the ash.
Hmm.
But for the last, 100 years ish, we've been like, forest fires are bad. Whenever they happen, we got to put them out. So
Straight away.
we've removed that part of the natural process, and
Hmm.
now California is paying the price for it. Well,
Yeah.
for multiple reasons, but like one of the big ones is they don't do
Yeah.
like you have to burn down the forest to grow a new one.
Yeah. 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 California looks scary, dude. Not just for that reason, just for like
Oh, yeah.
lots of things.
Well, California is scary for like a lot. Like California is fucking awesome to fucking visit. It is fucking amazing to hang out there for
Yeah.
like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like I lived there for maybe about 10 years,
Oh
and
wow.
it was great while I was there, but I always had it in the back of my head that I'm gonna fucking leave.
Leave this
Um,
place. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, because like the landscape is fucking beautiful.
Hmm.
Minus the earthquakes, but like the earthquakes aren't bad most of the time. It's like your buddy texts you, is like, "Did you feel the earthquake?" He's like, "No, I was driving and didn't see it."
Hmm.
Um, the Depending on where you're at, the people can be really cool or like tighter than a fucking dolphin's fucking butthole. And then The worst part about California though is they are. Do we have the same? I got phrasing for politics, like conservative people are like on the right and liberals are like way on the left.
Yes, I understand what you mean. It's funny because the right-wing party in Australia is actually called the Liberals, which
Okay.
is weird, but I know what you mean.
Okay.
I know.
So the like you know how like most people aren't super left or super right, they're somewhere in the middle and like
Moderate,
have a
yeah.
same head. So
Yeah.
California, they are like way far past the other end of what's cool to be left.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's like, hey, listen, like I understand what you're saying. That's cool. Got it. But they're like, all right, we're gonna take this and like just push it all the way the fuck over here. So
Mm.
I mean, which
See,
the opposite of that is, you know, Florida, maybe. Well, actually not
Flo
Florida. Um, no, yeah, Texas. The other end of that's Texas. So
yeah.
like,
Yeah, is LA like a camp city now? Like there's so many homeless people. There's just like no social support.
yeah, no, and that's the other thing is like they're not good at it. Like,
Yeah.
I would completely understand if they were like, hey, listen, we're gonna like push this shit all the way to the fucking left. We're gonna do this, that, whatever. But what it ends up being is the politicians talk about doing this, that, and whatever all the way on the left, and then they don't implement it except for like in law. So like all that effectively does is make it illegal to not do certain things or to do certain things, but they don't
Mm.
actually help anybody out.
Yeah, okay. That doesn't sound very progressive.
It's not. It's one of those things where we're going to talk about how we are. We're going to talk about being fucking super, like almost
Yeah.
abhorrently fucking progressive.
Yeah.
But all we're actually doing is making it illegal for you to do anything that fucking helps. So it's like we're going to give you a bunch of rhetoric about like helping people out and fucking
Yeah.
like have fun, this that whatever help your brother out.
Mhm.
But if you give money or food to homeless people without a permit, we're going to throw you in jail. And it's like, why are you arresting me for giving a homeless dude a sandwich?
Yeah. That's so weird, dude. That's so
But
strange.
welcome to American politics.
America rule. Yeah, okay. I know most of the people watching are probably American, and I'm sorry, but I need to ask questions because I don't. I want to know from your perspective. What do
Yes.
you think of gun laws? Do you think guns should be available to as widely as they are in America? Because in
Um.
Australia, we don't have anything like that.
Yeah. No. So it's kind of a complex issue because, like, on one hand, like the whole rhetoric is about like, hey, we should have guns, so if the government becomes tyrannical and is a bunch of assholes, we should be able to go overthrow them. But it's like, yeah, the government's already a bunch of tyrannical assholes, and like no one's overthrowing them, so I guess it's kind of hot wind.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at fucking shit, I'm kind of on board with a thing where it's like, I think that when you turn 18, we should just give you a fucking gun.
Oh,
Um,
really?
yeah, no, because like if you look at the news, they only tell you like the bad negative stories about, hey, somebody fucking got shot because of this and that, or there's this mass shooting here and there or whatever.
Mm.
And I'll go into the mass shooting thing here in a minute. But the vast majority of incidences where somebody was shot is in self-defense. So if it's like, even if it's like, hey, listen, 60% of gun related things are in self-defense, and somebody was shot who broke into a house, and somebody, some mom or dad, shot a home intruder, and like their kids are
Yeah.
safe. It's like, I think that's good. The
Mm-hmm.
other thing that I might agree with it a little bit more if our news wasn't fucking straight up propaganda,
Mm-hmm.
because there'll be a mass shooting and they'll talk about how somebody came in with an assault rifle and shot up a school or a Walmart or whatever it
Yeah.
was, and then they'll spin it to where like we have to get rid of assault rifles, which aren't a thing. If you Assault rifles aren't a real thing. That's a buzzword.
Okay.
And what assault rifles actually are, what they mean when they say that, they're already illegal. So
Okay.
it's kind of like saying, hey, we should outlaw machine guns. It's like, yeah, machine guns are illegal, but thanks.
Yeah.
However, the vast majority of shootings, I think it's like 80 something percent, are done with pistols.
Yeah.
So it's like, if we're trying to get rid of guns, shouldn't we be talking about how pistols are bad, not the scary black gun?
Yeah.
Oh, it's Scary and Black. So that's what it is.
That's what it is.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, that's weird. It's crazy. In Australia, we used to have, because it's a lot of farmland, so the farmers had guns and people
yeah,
would have guns in their homes, but it wasn't like we'd have big gun shops and there would be like all the different colored pistols that you can have and things like that. But in I think it was the 90s, there was a mass shooting in Tasmania, which is a really small state in Australia.
yeah. Well,
And
we all
this
know what
guy
Tasmania is because of that cartoon. So
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so this guy, he just came to this resort and just killed a bunch of people unprovoked. And then our government was like, all right, that's it. We're banning all guns. And now the only guns we have are like farmers can get if they have
yeah,
a license. But yeah, no
yeah.
one really has guns now here.
Yeah, no, like and like to go back to the whole like I guess the media's spin on it, which makes me distrustful of a lot of shit,
Mm,
is if shit does happen here. It has happened recently because I guess thanks COVID for no mass shootings. Because
mm,
this is an election year and that shit would have fucking gone down for sure if people were fucking congregated.
mhm,
But somebody will come in, shoot something up and like kill 5, 10, 15 fucking people, and then it'll be on the news for like a month.
yeah.
However, there's more cases of somebody comes in, pulls out a rifle, shoots like 2 people, and then somebody else there has a gun and then kills that guy. And
Okay.
then that's in the news for the afternoon and then disappears.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
I mean,
That's weird. And how do you have to have a license to get a gun, or could you just go to a gun shop and buy a gun?
so America's a fucking weird place. It depends on what state you live in.
Okay.
Um, so like where I'm at now, I'm in the Northeast. I'm in a state, Pennsylvania,
Mm,
and they have pretty much like a no or a no-go list. So like no matter where you are, you'd have to like
mhm.
fill out a bunch of paperwork, get a background check.
Yeah.
But like where I'm at, they take all your information down, they get your social security number, like like the house you lived in when you were fucking born, everything you've done since then. And they go in the back and they talk to or they send like an email to the police, and the police
Mhm.
either send you back a yes or a no. And
Okay.
one of the problems I will fucking say that we do have with our fucking system is if that's a no, they're supposed to call the cops and the cops are supposed to show up and arrest you. And that doesn't happen. And I think that does need to be fixed. But
Mhm.
other than that, it's like I'm on the okay list. I can walk out with it. But there are
Mhm.
some places like it differs from state to state. Like say Maryland is the state down from me where the goat man is. Um,
Yeah.
you're not allowed to have okay, I'm sorry. You are allowed to have rifles there, but they have to be like bolt action, like
Okay.
shoot and then like almost take the gun
Yep.
apart, put it back together.
Yep.
But if you want to get a bolt action rifle, like you have to go in and do the paperwork, and then like a week later, you can come pick up your gun. And then I think a
Yep.
pistol is like a month later. But it's stupid because it's like every different state has their own different laws
Different.
because
Okay.
yeah, it's almost it's not quite like this, but it's almost like with the way our laws are set up
Mhm.
is it's almost like 50 different countries that just kind of agreed to some shit.
Yeah. Okay. That's so weird. I just see one of the commenters, Nate, aren't airsoft guns and like paintball guns illegal in Australia now? Like the toys. Guns are treated like they're real guns. Yeah, you're not allowed to sell realistic looking gun toys. So if you go into like we call them $2 shops. I'm not sure what you guys call them, but like shops that
The
just sell
dollar,
everything. Yeah, like the dollar shop. They have like toy guns, but they have to look fake, like whether they have like a red bullseye at the end or something to make it look like a toy. That's the only way you can have it. I don't know if you can buy paintball guns. I know that at ranges you can go and play paintball, but you have to be like over 18 and you have to sign waivers and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, we're very anti-gun, and we still have gun violence though, especially in Melbourne where I'm from, in Victoria. um, we have a lot of bikie gangs and they still have guns and they get them in, and again it's pistols,
yeah,
like you were saying, those
right.
are the guns that they have. But
Which I might be on more. I might be a little bit more on board with the I guess gun control argument if it wasn't geared towards we have to get rid of rifles, even though pistols are where the problem is.
yeah.
Because at that point, it's like if pistols are the problem, why are you trying to tell me this? Like, there's something funky with what you're saying right now. And,
Mm.
but all of our news is fucking propaganda. So,
It's the same here. Yeah,
yeah.
it's really bad. But yeah, it's crazy. Australia's pretty whack right now, especially with coronavirus. Like you in America, like 200,000 people have died, right?
Yes. But
Yeah.
there's also like 300 million of us. So, like,
Yeah.
it's kind of one of those things where it's like, we're going to put you on the chart and then I'm going to lie to you with statistics. Like, I'm not saying that like, that's not bad because that is bad.
Hmm.
But I mean, it, it could be worse. I
Yeah. Have you heard about the lockdown in Melbourne over
No,
there?
like I know you were saying you were still in lockdown, but what all
Yeah.
goes into that with
What?
y'all?
Yeah. So I've also seen from some of my friends in America, they're like, "Oh, we're still in lockdown," and I'm like, "What is lockdown?" "Oh, we can't go out to festivals where there's 500 people," and I'm like, "We are locked in our house." Like we're in. There was a couple stages, so our government we went from stage 1, 2, 3, and 4, and right now we're in stage 4. And stage 4 is you can leave the house for 2 hours a day. You can go shopping. One person from the family can go shopping once a day. Um, and we can't go to work. We can't go to school. So I'm at uni and I haven't been to uni since March this year because
Are you
they've
doing
all
it online then, or
I'm doing it online. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I am
Um,
fucking terrible.
yeah, it's so bad. But yeah, like we've been in lockdown. We've been in this stage 4 lockdown, which is this severe lockdown, and you can only go outside for those 2 hours. And we were under curfew for a while, so we couldn't go outside our house after 8 p.m. Until 5 a.m. the next morning. And so everyone's just like so fucking over it. It's been 2 months in this stage 4 lockdown, and it feels like I'm in a different universe. But what my state did was our like city is cut off from the regional, so like the country. So the
Yeah.
countryside of Victoria, they have more freedoms, and then it's just like our big city, which is just locked in. And it's like it feels like they're from a different country because they're going out to bars and stuff. And like I haven't been to a bar in like 4 or 5 months because we've just been locked in.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah, it's crazy down here.
yeah, no, like our shit's fucking once again, it's like almost 50 different fucking countries, different rules for everybody. Like my buddy Nate down in Georgia, almost back to fucking normal. Like I was talking to him I
Mm,
think, last weekend and like
mhm.
nobody's fucking wearing a mask down there.
We
I know
have to wear
that in
masks.
California, like you're not allowed to
Yeah.
walk outside pretty much. And then like where I'm at, like you still can't go to bars, but anywhere
Yeah.
else, like you have to wear a mask. And it's not like a suggestion, like it's if you get caught not wearing a mask somewhere, like you and the business you're in both get fined $500. And it's
Yeah.
at the point where it's like, listen, I don't care what side of the fucking mask argument you're on.
Mhm.
I don't want to get fined fucking $500 for walking in the wrong place. I'm gonna wear
Mhm.
it.
Yeah, no, we have to wear masks, otherwise we get fined. And if you're caught going to someone's house, because we're not allowed to visit, and we're not allowed to have anyone outside of our family or like immediate house bubble in our home, and it's been like that for months. So, and all the gyms are closed, like everything's closed. The only places that are open are like supermarkets and like
Yeah,
food markets and stuff like that. So yeah, I think the fine, I think you get like a $500 on the spot fine for not wearing a mask.
yeah,
Um, and then if you're caught, we also have a 1.5 meter rule where you have to be
mm,
1.5 meters away
yeah.
from someone. Dude, it's crazy. But tomorrow, Sunday in Australia, we find out what easings we're going to have because we've only had one case of coronavirus in our state today.
Oh, that's good.
One, yes. So,
Well,
yeah,
actually, watch you guys pull in New Zealand. Like, I don't know if you paid attention to them, but like they
yeah,
got
no, we
rid
have
of
been.
coronavirus, and then like as soon as they lifted the lockdown, it's like, oh, so it turns out everybody has it. Everybody go back home.
Yeah, it's so weird because they're working on an eradication model, so they want no coronavirus in New Zealand. Our state is working on a suppression, so they're like, we are always going to live with this. It's like the flu, but we need to have it at a certain number where we can manage it and do contact tracing and find out where it is and stop the spread. And now we've gotten to that point where everyone's been locked in for so long, and we've got the point where we're having like one case per day. Like, let us the fuck out, let us
Yeah,
out. Yeah, people's mental health and workplaces and everything. It's really bad. So
Well, I mean, like
hopefully,
that's a fucking secondary effect that people don't think about, where it's like,
mm,
so say somebody doesn't have coronavirus, but like can't go outside because of all this, but they kind of need social interaction, can't deal with it, and then like either they kill themselves or they can't go to work and drive themselves into fucking poverty and like end
mhm,
up losing their fucking house or some shit, which is something that happens here.
yeah.
But it's like, like where's the level of what we're willing to deal with to prevent this?
Yeah, and we just don't have those numbers. Nate's asking, is there a price gouging in Australia? Like here, people are selling workout equipment for
Mm,
400 plus. I don't think so. I think a lot of the gyms I know of have been renting equipment to people, and that's how people have been supporting small business. I know I still pay my fees to my jiu-jitsu academy just to support them, and I do online classes with them. So I think people have been pretty good. Initially, when we went into these different stages of lockdown, each one became more and more severe. We were having people just buying like all of the toilet paper, all of the baby food, all of the milk, just and all the pasta and flour, and people were just mass buying. But it's like we have enough food. It's fine. Like stop doing it. And we were only in lockdowns for like 2 weeks, and now we're in lockdowns for like 2 months, and people are just so chill now.
yeah, no, like Matt was saying, like
Exactly.
suicide's like fucking big on the rise over here in the States. But one of the other things about toilet paper is like it's not a big deal anymore, but like fucking 3-4 months ago, it was like the big
Mm.
fucking like boogeyman, like where all the toilet paper go. And then
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys had it down there, but we had a bunch of articles that came out. It's like, why is all the toilet paper missing? And it's like, well, long story short, people poop at work because they don't want to do that at their house. So they have to buy toilet paper now because there's people that have been living in this house for fucking 10 years and never took a fucking shit there. It's like,
Yeah.
I didn't know I needed to know that, but all right,
Thanks
cool,
for
man.
letting me know. Yeah. No, yeah, people were just mass buying it. And it was just like it was a reflection on the media's coverage, just blowing it up like, oh, we're gonna be
Oh,
locked down
yeah.
forever. And it's like, why would you mass buy toilet paper? Why wouldn't you mass buy something like fucking practical if there was you can't eat toilet paper. You can't do anything with toilet paper besides wipe your ass. Like have a shower. I don't know. Like
No,
chill
no.
out.
So like, yeah, no, like my thing on that though is like fucking like I'm not like a doomsday prepper. I don't have like like a locker in my basement full of fucking like beans and like ramen noodle and like salted meat and shit.
Yeah.
I do have a couple dozen thousand, couple dozen thousand. I have a lot of fucking ammunition.
I've
Um,
seen you do videos.
So,
Yeah.
my thing is like, hey, worst case scenario, society collapses. The woods are right there. I'm gonna go fucking find something to eat out there and fucking shoot it. I don't care if it's a fucking deer or a mountain lion or a possum. Or worst case scenario, my neighbor has food and not a gun, and he has food and no gun. I have gun and no food. I have food. But
Oh
that's
no.
that's obviously like like people are eating each other level, and
Yeah, you're like already there. You're like, I'm not there, but I am. Mentally, I'm there.
yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I don't know how I would go in an apocalyptic scene. Yeah, I'm a vegetarian as well, so I'd be like, ooh, I can't
Oh
see
yeah, no,
anything.
that has to be good up quick. Like you'd be outside fucking like just gathering ants up because ants are
Yeah,
very good in fucking protein, by the way. Just
yeah,
saying.
yeah.
Yeah,
I've
no,
heard about
like fucking
ants.
like each ant is like all protein. Like granted, it's only this much of it, but like you find a fucking colony,
Mm,
that's fucking lunch, motherfucker.
yeah, that's wild. I wanted to know more about your service. So you
Um,
were you in the Marines? Is
yeah,
that
yeah,
right?
I was in the Marines for a little bit less than 12 years.
Wow, is that a
Um,
long time to serve?
uh, y- middle ground on it. Like most people either get out after 4 years or they stay in for 20 years, and at 20 years you can retire.
Okay.
Um, I was planning on staying in for 20 years, but I had some medical conditions, so they booted me out. Like there's a band that goes around your ankle that holds all your like sinew and tendons together. I don't have that anymore, and I can what is it? In your leg though, like that tibia and fibia, like I can move those by themselves.
Oh.
I also don't have meniscuses, the
Mhm.
piece of cartilage between your knees. I don't have those anymore, and I can feel every part of my body in a bad way.
Oh,
On a
dude.
scale 1 through 10, obviously not now, but if I'm sober, on a pain scale 1 through 10, I am at a 7
Oh my
at
God.
all fucking times. And I thought it was manageable, but like it gets to a point where it's like, hey, listen, you can't run or carry shit anymore, so you gotta go. Like, not in a, hey, fuck you, get out, but it's like, hey, the job's fucking physically fucking demanding. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
Um,
dude, that sucks.
yeah.
Did you get those injuries from service?
Yes, I mean, yeah, I didn't have them when I came in, but like, I was very. So there's like kind of like two kind of ways you can go as far as military fitness goes. One of them is you can run really fast, or one of them is you can carry a lot of heavy shit. And I've never been a good runner. Like in Marine Corps standards, I sucked at running. So like my best 3-mile run time was like 22 minutes, and that's not good in the Marine Corps.
Okay.
I don't know what 3 miles is in metric, so I apologize.
Yeah.
I think it's a 5K ish.
Okay. Yeah,
So
something around
yeah, so like a 5K in 22 minutes is not good in the Marine Corps. It's not
there. Okay.
it's not bad, but it's not great. But I could carry 100 pounds worth of shit up a fucking mountain for fucking 24 hours fucking straight.
Oof.
So yeah, we have a phrase called getting ridden hard and hung up wet.
Okay, nice.
That's how I would describe it.
Okay.
But yeah, no, so I was in for 12 years. Or a little bit shy of 12 years. What is it? So I joined as an illustrator. So like I would, do graphic design and like make maps and like just draw shit.
Okay.
However, where I got sent, those like the graphic design guys, the photographers, the video people were all in the same unit, and they would send people out to go do this, that, and whatever. And I got to the fleet, where I was stationed at, and quickly realized that drawing shit's bullshit, and that's not a fucking good reason to join the fucking Marine Corps.
Yeah.
Especially because fucking you got different stereotypes for like the services. Like if you join the Air Force, we assume that you're smart. If you
Okay. Yeah.
join the Navy, we expect you to like want to go see the world. Which, by the way, anybody watching right now, if you join the military to see the world for any reason, if you don't join the Navy, you're a fucking idiot. Because the Navy goes everywhere; they fucking see everything. If you join the Army, it's usually because you're dumb and you couldn't get into the other three. And then
Yeah.
the Marines, like you normally join that because you want to kill people.
Okay.
So like I watched the Battle of Fallujah on TV and I was like, I'm gonna join the fucking Marine Corps because the Marines just fucking murdered this entire fucking city. I want to go.
Oh my God.
And then like your recruiter always fucking lies to you.
Yeah.
Is the fucking stereotype. Oh yeah, you're gonna be like these guys. You're gonna be fucking go do this or whatever. It's like, oh cool, I'm at this place and I'm fucking drawing pictures. This is fucking great.
This is what I wanted. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So fucking I learned the photo trade. Which is kind of weird because half the time I was in the Marine Corps, I was an illustrator, and the other half the time I was a videographer. But I never did anything besides photography, which wasn't my job, but
Okay.
switches
Fortunate.
over. So the reason I picked up on that was because everybody. So the way it works is like you have your unit, right? And then like the combat camera shops, like depending on where you are, 20 to 50 people. And then like your other people, not your guys, but like other units will, deploy, go do this, that, and whatever. And then they'll take like 1 or 2 guys from your shop, take these dudes, go there, 1 or 2 guys go to the here. And everybody in my unit, minus like maybe 10 people, like got sent to Iraq. And we were just hanging out in fucking California, pretty much with their thumbs up our asses, not doing anything. And there was something coming up to go to Korea. And I was like, well, I didn't join the fucking Marine Corps to sit on my ass. They're only sending guys with this unit to Korea that know how to do photo. I'm going to go talk to somebody, learn how to fucking do this. Like, actually how to take photos. Cause like, nowadays it's easy to be like, yeah, any asshole with a fucking cell phone can fucking take a camera. But I mean, there is an actual fucking technical aspect to that.
Yeah.
There's a difference between a photographer and somebody that knows how to take pictures. So
Yeah.
I got taught up on being a photographer. And I got to the point where they were okay with sending me to Korea with a group of Marines. I came back, and that sucked, by the way, because it was we were doing like cold weather fucking infantry training in South Korea in February.
Ooh.
And it was fun. It was fun. That's the word I'm going to use. It was fun. Yeah. So anyway, I get back from that, and then they're like, "Hey, listen, we need to put an 8-man team together to fucking go to Afghanistan." And my first thought was, I didn't know Afghanistan was still going on. I thought that war ended in 2002, but okay, got it. And we, what is it, like 7 or 8 of us? We go out with 2nd Battalion, 7th Marines, which remind me about the 1st Marine Division later, because this is an Australia thing that lines up with it.
Okay.
But we go out there with 2-7, and our whole job was to train the Afghan National Police to, do whatever the hell Afghan National Police do, because, the war's over, and we're just training these people up. And we get there, and it turns out what the war's over means is the British and the French would get into firefights with the Taliban and be like, "Ain't our war, we're gonna fuck off." So like we get there, and it's like, "Oh, hey, these guys are shooting at us. Are they expecting us to leave? Let's go fuck these guys up." We were supposed to be there for 5 months. Like, we didn't even have air support. We were just like on the ground, supposed to be training these dudes. Fucking end up out there. Turns out the war is still going on. The French and the British just weren't fucking fighting it, because the most polite way I can say this is there's a reason there's not a French or a fucking British Empire anymore. But we're out there fucking these dudes up.
Yeah.
Our 5-month deployment ends up being a fucking 10-month deployment, because it's like, hey, the war's still going on. We thought we were going to bring you home. Turns out there's still a war going on. Your battalion, which is about 1,000 people, is going to have to get replaced with 20,000 people. So you guys just hang out so we get the numbers back. Yeah, no, and like out of that, like I think we had close to like 300 fucking casualties, most of which were like, amputees and fucking shit. Yeah. And then we come back, and then I finagle my way to get to another unit, because like you have this like weird psychological fucking thing that happens when you're in combat, where like you don't want to fucking leave, and it like goes everything against what the humanity part of you should do. But I don't know, combat's fucking weird, does weird shit in your fucking brain, which is its own fucking story thing, whatever it is. But so I was looking for any way to get back, so I ended up back in Afghanistan with a different unit. I want to say like 8 months later. And then come back from that, and then after that I was trying to go back to Afghanistan, but they were like, "Hey, listen, you just did 2 back-to-back, so we can't just send you back, because that's gonna irreparably fucking damage your brain," or some bullshit. But like in my mind, I was like, hey, quit being pussy, send me back. They're like, "No." So I did manage to get onto a what they call a MU, which is a Marine Expeditionary Unit, which is they take 1,000 Marines, they just put them on a boat, and they have, go do like naval patrols. Which the way that works is it's kind of like a power move. Like on one hand, you're patrolling, the high seas or whatever, but if you have some country that's like being an asshole, there's a big difference between saying, "Hey, we're going to invade you if you don't stop being stupid," vice, "Hey, there's like 5,000 Marines a mile off your coast. Shut the fuck up." So, they just like move the ships there, and then whatever. That and you're also kind of like a quick reaction thing. Like the first guys in Afghanistan and Iraq, when we did fight the invasion back in 2001 and 3, were guys that were on ship, because there's a difference between getting everybody on the ground together, fly them to like Germany and then like to Kuwait to like stage them and like go, versus here's guys that are already fucking there. However, when I did it, it was a fucking booze cruise. Like we went to Hawaii, and that was fucking great. And then like we went to Malaysia, which sucked because we didn't go to Malaysia to have fun. We went to Malaysia to like learn how to do jungle warfare fucking training with the Malaysians. And
Yeah.
I will tell you fucking literally any day of the fucking week, I will go straight back to I will spend the rest of my life in the
Really?
fucking desert before I step foot in a fucking jungle. Dude, fucking jungle, burn it the fuck down. Everybody's like, save the rainforest. Like, no, dude, I've been there. Burn that shit the fuck down. Fuck that shit. I ain't go. Okay, so first off, there's these scorpions that are like this fucking big, bright fucking cobalt blue.
Oh my God.
Now, granted, they when they sting you, it's only like a bee sting, but you wake up in the middle of the night and it's on your chest. You have a little bit more reaction to that. The other thing is like I had a buddy that was like he was on watch at night, right? And like everybody else is fucking asleep. And I just wake up and it sounds like somebody's just getting fucking murdered. Apparently what happened was this boar like got spooked, ran through, fucking like tusked fucking this dude. I think his name was Keynes, but like
Oh, wow.
like hit him in the fucking like gut with his fucking tusk. Dude had to get fucking like
Yeah.
backed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like I ended up getting helicoptered out a few days later because I was supposed to be there for 15 days. I brought enough socks to be there for 2 months.
Yeah.
I thought.
Yeah.
Turns out 50 pairs of socks is not adequate for being in the jungle for fucking 15 days. The bottoms of my feet slid off, and I had to get like helicoptered back to the fucking boat and like just hang out my rack while like this part of my foot grew the fuck back. But after that, we went.
Dank,
dude. No, it was not fucking cool.
Fuck.
No, exact opposite of fun. Actually, in retrospect, it's a fun story to tell. But yeah, no, you don't want to be there or do that. But let's see. So after that, we like went to. We spent Christmas and New Year's in Singapore, and that was fucking great. And then like we went to where the fuck is it? Like the Persian Gulf, and like we did some training with the Omanians and the Saudi Arabians, and then like hung out in Bahrain for a bit. And then I went to Petra while we were there in Jordan. I don't know if you know what that is. Yeah, like with all the carved stone out shit.
Yeah. It's cool.
My only gripe about that was like we only got to spend a day there, and like that's one of those places where like you have to be there for a week to like get it. So it was like that was cool. I have to go walk over here just to say that I saw this to bounce. So I could say that I saw everything there, but it's like, cool, I saw it. I didn't stop walking because I had to do whatever. But then, came back down, fucking spent some time in Africa, went back to Malaysia, but like got to go to like cool part of Malaysia. And then I think we hit Hawaii again after that, and then came back. And then after that, I got sent to the East Coast. I went to the Marine Corps set up a psychological operations fucking unit, which is every level of fucking bullshit. Like, I don't agree with that. Because like the whole thing is like, trying to get the populace to, agree with you and like, try to manipulate people's minds so they think that you're the good guy. And like, I don't know, I kind of developed this thing where it's like, I think that like we shouldn't go to war unless it's like 100% justified. And if we do, we should just fucking kill everybody that's there. But we should have to be at the point where it's justifying killing everybody that's there to do that. Otherwise, we should fuck off. Which, if you look at it, like I want to say Pearl Harbor was like really the last thing that we should have done that for. Like, shouldn't have gone to Korea or fucking Vietnam or Iraq, but different fucking conversation. And I hated that. I hated the fuck out of it. But I used where I was at to go to another ship deployment. But that ship was based out of Okinawa in Japan. And most of that deployment, I'm using like heavy quotation marks here, I was at a fucking barracks in Camp Hansen in Okinawa, just fucking getting shit-faced every fucking night.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Were you guys allowed to go like off your barracks when you were in different countries?
It depended on what country you're in, but like Japan, Oh, well, yes and no. So no in Japan, which was what made it good. So imagine you're living in an apartment complex with 1,000 other fucking people that are about your age with about the same interests.
Yeah.
And you're not allowed to leave, 500 meters from there unless there's like 4 of you going and you're going to the same place. And then also, if you leave there, you're not allowed to fucking drink or really do anything, and you have to be back by 9.
Okay.
So everyone just hangs out in front of the fucking barracks and fucking gets shit house and has a huge party every fucking night because you're not allowed to go anywhere. So let's just fucking party here, which,
Okay.
you know, probably not the healthiest thing, but you know, I made some really good fucking friends there.
Yeah, I
Um,
bet you would.
yeah, no, but then like after that, I came back, fucking finagled some orders to the West Coast, hung out there for a bit, and then ended up getting separated after that.
Okay. Yeah, that's crazy, dude. That sounds like you got to travel and you got to learn a lot about the world though, which is
Yes,
awesome.
I have put my feet on the ground. Actually, not on the ground, but I've been standing in every time zone.
You never told it. That's cool.
Granted, some of it has been on a boat, but I was
Yeah.
there in every
Did you
fucking.
ever get seasick?
Yes. It's kind of a weird thing though, because um, it'll happen like the first 2 days you're on ship,
Mm-hmm.
but then like if you like wait like 3 years before you go back to the boat,
Mm-hmm.
you'll be all right after that. It's like your body remembers, like, hey, your stomach's doing this. Nah, you know what this is. Calm down. Calm down.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
And how did you get into music? Was that something that you learnt while you were serving, or is that something you did when you were like a kid or something?
So that was more of a kid thing. My parents had a really fucking ugly fucking divorce when I was like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, somewhere between 7 and 10.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say I was 13 or 14 at the time. I hadn't seen my mom in like fucking 8 years. Like, haven't heard from her
Mm-hmm.
at the fuck all. Just living with my dad, doing her own fucking thing. My dad played guitar, and I wasn't like super into it. Just kind of like, my dad's making me do this. You know, fuck it,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. And then like
Yeah.
one day, my mom shows up. And she's got like court orders. Hey, the kids are coming with me. We're out. And then like moves us across the fucking country. And I'm like, dude, I'm like 12. Haven't seen you 8 years. I don't really know who the fuck you are. You're a bitch.
Whoa.
Fuck you. I'm gonna go like hang out in the fucking woods. And the only thing I know what to do out here is play guitar. So that was
Mm-hmm.
kind of like my comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
And also where we were at, it was like house miles of fucking corn. So
Oh, dude.
yeah, dude,
Okay.
that was bad.
Ah. So that's weird. Did you pick up your relationship with your dad again after that?
Oh no, no, like my dad and I have never like been too far off. So like after that, he sold literally everything he fucking had. Besides like his like truck, drove up to fucking Ohio and you know, was kind of homeless for like a little bit, but then, you know,
Mm-hmm.
got a job somewhere, living out of his car, and then got a house, and then ended up getting custody after that, provided like we didn't leave like Ohio or some
Mm-hmm. Okay.
stupid
Yeah.
shit. But
Dude, that's wild.
yeah.
Yeah, my parents divorced when I was 8, but it wasn't that crazy.
Oh no, so like I think the reason that like my dad got most of the custody was I, like afterwards I was 14 or 15,
Mhm,
um but I was talking to the judge in the chambers, and it was like me, my brother, and my sister. I'm like the oldest of the
mhm,
bunch.
mhm,
And he's like, hey, well, I want to ask you about this, that, whatever. And we're just gonna like, I don't really know what to say about this. But hey, I have a
mhm.
question real quick. My mom says that we can't live with my dad because he's possessed by demons, and he's part of the Mexican cartel and does porno. And then the judge just kind of gives me this look, and then like my dad got like
Concerned.
majority custody after that. So
Oh, bro. Do you still talk to your mum? Or
no, I
no?
haven't I haven't talked to her willingly since fuck, I was probably 6. I haven't
Yeah,
talked to her at all since I was 17.
that sounds like a good decision.
Yeah. No, like, see that's the thing though. It's like fucking like blood matters, but like if somebody's fucking toxic, somebody's fucking toxic.
Dude, there's a whole half of my family I don't talk to.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
my
just
mom said I
split
don't.
in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, 100%. I hope they're not watching on Facebook. That'd be really funny though.
No, and then like that side, my mom's side, they're all like extreme religious zealots. So
Are they Christians?
yeah, like the worst kind, like the
Okay.
negative side.
Oh,
Like I would say that I was a Christian, but that's like I believe in God. I believe that there is a God. Um,
okay.
I don't necessarily think that you're gonna go to hell because you have a fucking tattoo. you know. Yeah, just fucking
Yeah,
whatever.
you have to. Yeah.
No, but they're the kind of people that's like, oh, you accidentally fucking like fell off your bike and skid your knees and said, "Damn, yeah, well, you're going to hell for that."
You're going out.
Yeah,
Oh,
which is funny because they're all also like on their third spouse, and it's like I'm pretty sure that like
that's against it. Yeah.
yeah, but hey, listen, I'm not the pot calling the kettle a fucking racial slur over here, so.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, dude, that's whack as. That's another question I had because you said that you have pain. Do you use like any CBD products? Is that
No,
legal in Pennsylvania?
it is legal in Pennsylvania. However, I don't use any CBD stuff. I have a very bad reaction to that.
Okay.
Not necessarily CBD, but like I've had enough tainted shit with
Mhm,
just weed in general. So like
mhm,
either I I guess depending on what strain it is, either I
mhm,
get like super paranoid and then go to sleep,
mhm,
which the only time I ever want to fucking, do this shit is when I'm at a fucking party. So like why would I
mhm,
want to do something that makes me want to go to sleep at a party?
mhm.
Or the thing inside of the shadow, inside of my reflection is gonna fucking murder me and I need to fucking hide.
Oh
Dude, no,
no.
I get super fucking paranoid. Like,
Is that do you get psychosis as well? It's some people are genetically prone to get into drug induced psychosis. So
I
it's
mean,
kind of like you get stuck in like an episode, kind of like a paranoid episode. It depends on who you are.
I remember one time I was under a fucking sheet. Like I was in bed, woke up, and I was
Yeah.
really fucking thirsty. Granted, I
Mhm.
had both smoked and ate a lot more than I fucking should have that night of not this. And I remember looking up from the sheet and there was a glass of water. And I was like, man, that
Mhm.
glass of water looks really good. So I start to stick my hand
Look
out.
great.
I started to stick my hand out. I was like, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. There's a mirror over there. My reflection is gonna murder me. Not worth the water.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
That doesn't sound normal.
yeah. I'd just rather not. Like, dude, listen. Like, I'm all about like if anybody else wants to do it, fucking go for it. You have
Mm.
fun. I'm good. I don't need my reflection trying to fucking murder me.
Yeah, no, that's whack. Yeah, I have a certain gene that's hereditary in one side of my family, and some of my family members completely normal, and then when they're like 16, 17, they start drinking or they start doing some kind of drugs, and they just completely fucking change and become like sociopaths. Like they get stuck in this psychosis and it just damages their brain, and it's hereditary. So I'm like so scared, so scared to do drugs, just because of that, because I literally have family members that are like absolute psychos from doing something once. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But
No.
yeah, maybe you have like a psychosis gene.
Maybe, but I think I get most of my genes from my dad's side, and
Yeah.
so like my granddad was born in the fucking what early 30s.
Hmm.
There's not he has a lot of fucking photos going all the way
Hmm.
back. There's not one photo of him in black and white though, after the age of like hey cute baby pic,
Hmm.
where he wasn't so drunk that like somebody else had to fucking stand him up. And
Oh.
apparently, sometime in the 70s when he was like fucking 40 something, he decided to fucking just like, fucking, I'm done. Quit drinking, quit smoking, like cold fucking turkey. And he was the meanest son of a bitch on the planet for like a week and a half. And then he was like, good. But like, right now he's at the point where, he's got, what is it? It's not regular lung cancer. It's the kind of lung cancer you get from being exposed to asbestos for a long time.
Oh,
Like asbestositis, I think maybe.
yeah, I know what you mean. A lot of people in Australia have it
Yeah,
from
no,
factory workers.
but I was talking to my fucking grandma, and this is like fucking 8 years ago now. And like, keep in mind, this dude still fucking like mows an acre of fucking lawn, like twice a fucking week, like
Oh wow.
strong motherfucker out there. But I
Yeah.
was talking to my grandma, some years back. She's like, oh yeah, fucking he's got this and that or whatever. I was like, oh shit, I should probably talk to him now before he croaks, because
Hmm.
whatever. And I'm talking to him like, hey, how's it going? He's like, oh, I'm doing good. You know, this, that, you know, fucking doing whatever. And he's like, hey, so I hear you've been going to go see the doctor a lot. He's like, well, I don't have anything else to do. I've been retired for 20 years. I'm like, all right, man, fucking, if that's how you got to
Right.
fucking do it.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, no, it's kind of weird because like I don't see them a lot because you know they live back down in Florida and I don't make it down there a
Mhm.
whole lot. And like,
Mhm.
you know, I'll see them and I'm like, oh man, fuck, they're like old and weak now, like, you know,
Mm,
late 80s. But then I'll see
yeah.
people in their fucking 60s, like fucking like hunched over and fucking bent. I'm like, oh dude, my grandparents are doing fucking great.
They would fuck you up.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I've definitely seen, like, my grandma's really healthy. She's, like, kept on top of herself, and she's a really interesting woman. Like, she was a nurse for most of her life and seen lots of things, and, yeah, like, she's so healthy, and I see people that are, like, 40 years old in Australia that couldn't keep up with my grandparents, which is
Yeah,
sad.
yeah, no, I think it's all about stopping. Like once you decide to slow down, that's when you fucking slow down. Like if you keep up with your fucking routine, just keep doing it every day, like
Mhm.
one day you'll have a fucking stroke in the shower and that'll be fucking it.
Yeah,
But like
yeah.
if you decide to fucking like stop giving a shit in your fucking 20s or 30s, then that's when you're gonna start fucking
Going downhill. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
exactly. So have you ever released music?
Yeah, dude, I have a fucking album out. It's not good.
I
I
saw you doing the music with the, what is it? The Marine guys.
Yeah, that's its own fucking story. But like I have my own fucking solo thing out. And it's
Okay.
um I
Send it
wouldn't
to me.
I wouldn't say it was good. I labeled it as punk rock so that if it sucks, I'd be like, well, I mean, it's
It's
punk rock.
punk.
It sucks, so fuck
That's
you.
so true, dude.
But no, like I have a whole fucking album out. I'll send you the link fucking later. It's on iTunes and Spotify and all that. But what it was, you know, fucking I'm not gonna bore you with the fucking writing shit, but like the characters in my books, you know, all play music. And
Yeah.
then like I figured, hey, why not, you know, put that at the end of it? So
Your brain is
that
crazy,
one album
dude.
that's out now is all, you know, shit that those characters fucking
Your brain is
saying.
crazy. To be
But
able to write everything you've written is just insane.
but one of the things I did do with that though is like I
Mm.
really fucking hate my voice. Um I think I'm all right on
Why?
I think I'm all right on the guitar, but I hate my fucking singing voice.
I think you have a cool voice.
Say
You're
what?
more than all right. I think you have a cool voice.
Oh, well, I don't like it, but thank
I
you.
don't like it. Punk
So
rock.
so what I did was on the fucking actual album, fucking remind me later. Actually, let me fucking send Grace music.
Yeah, send that to me.
So what I did for it though is like the album's twice as long as it should be. So like I had like two mixes, like one with me trying to sing, and then like one with me was like, hey, this is this song, just the instrumental version. So if you don't like me singing, because I don't like me singing, so I don't blame you for
Yeah.
not liking this. Here's my
Oh,
fucking music.
that's funny.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool, dude. Respect. Tommy's saying, I love his first few books. Affirmation. Take it.
Dude, Tommy, thanks, man. No.
Respect, dude.
Actually, no, there was a thing I wanted to fucking I was gonna approach you later about it, but the books I'm working on now, like I have the seventh one done. I'm most of the way done with the eighth one, and then I'm gonna write the ninth one. I'm gonna like release 7, 8, 9 at the same time, kind of like to ride the wave. But I'm gonna do the same fucking musical shit.
Mm.
But that stuff all takes place like in the future after
Mhm.
World War III. So like everyone's like living in, you know, fucking the woods after the fucking the
Mhm.
nuclear apocalypse and shit.
Mm.
So they're all like, you know, playing fucking like mandolins and banjos and shit. However,
Oh, yeah.
at some point in the future, I am gonna be like, hey, Grace, fucking, I wrote this music. Would you like to fucking sing on this shit? You know, just
Fuck yeah, dude. That's mad. I'd do that shit.
yeah. So since
100%.
we're talking about that, the reason that I was going to do that was because I think you fucking got a more than decent fucking badass fucking singing voice. And let's talk about
Oh,
my
thank
safe
you.
word murder here for a minute.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Thank you. I would like to do that. So, like, side note, we should do that. Yeah, so I'm in a band called My Safe Word is Murder, and we write heavy songs. We over lockdown, we've gone from beginning of lockdown, we were like, yeah, we're alternative rock. We have some punk rock songs. And now we've gotten to the point that I'm just have so much pent up rage, and I'm just like locked in this box. I'm just like bouncing off the walls, and I've learned how to scream pretty well. So some of our songs that are coming out on an album, which might come out in December, maybe, maybe
I
not.
thought you had something coming out the 30th on this month.
We do. We have a single coming out on the 31st. It's on Halloween.
That's
And
not
that's called
dramatic.
Little Doll. Yeah. It's called Little Doll. And yeah, it's got a storyline. It's about me, and I'm the little doll, and I'm little because I'm 5'3", but I'm also just like this little psychopath and um crazy, and not in a bad way, but it's basically like, yeah, I'm a little doll, but I still have power, and I will fuck you, man. And that's the song. So that'll be our second single coming out from My Safe Word Is Murder. Our first one was our self-titled single, and we basically punched that out in like 2 months of being a band or something. We only got together at like the start of this year, because I got an opportunity to play Australia's biggest free festival.
Which also
Little
isn't that just like the biggest fuck you? It's like, hey, I formed this band. It's gonna be great. Corona.
Yeah. Coronavirus, dude, soul crush. We
Yeah.
had so many plans. So we were planning to tour some states in
Yeah.
Australia, and then our dream, like the lead guitarist and my dream, is to go to Tennessee. We want to go to Tennessee,
Dude, if you
and
go
we
to
want to.
Tennessee, let me know. I'll fucking take the week.
Yeah, fucking yeah, dude, come
Fucking
up.
come
We
down.
want to go to yeah, we want to go to Tennessee, and we want to play all of the iconic venues, and then we want to ambush Jack White and like kidnap him because we love him so much as a
You gotta be
band.
careful of that. I'm not sure that dude's not a fucking vampire.
Dude, he's a fucking vampire.
Yeah.
100%. That dude's a freak, straight up freak, 7 days a week.
Yeah, no,
But
but what I was
I
gonna say
love
earlier
him.
is like your other stuff, your actual song,
Yeah.
Mercy for His Murder, which like fucking kind of reminds me of like Bad Company or Black Sabbath. Like, all right, so this is the band's
Yeah.
name, this is also the album's name, it's also the song's name, but it reminds me of like Black Flag.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Wow, respect. That's a dope. That's really dope. Well, wait till you hear our new stuff, because yeah, it's definitely vibing some like 90s, 80s punk, with some new school stuff. We're introducing like some metal vocals into some of the songs. It's very different. There's some pretty songs, like we've got a song called Runaway, which is just this beautiful ballad, and it's just like me singing my heart out, and not screaming. Make sure you stop at Graceland. Got to see the King's House. Ah,
Yes,
yeah, Elvis.
stuff.
Dude, I have read some shit about Elvis. He sounded like an actual freak.
You know,
Like,
he might have been a
actual
freak, but
freak.
there's a reason he was the fucking king. So
Yeah.
dude got fucking famous singing fucking like country and like whatever you want to call rock and roll in the fucking like 50s. And
Mm.
then motherfucker gets drafted. So he's like, I'm gonna go serve the country. Fuck it. Joins the fucking army, kind of like
Yeah.
falls off, gets out of the fucking army, and
Yeah.
then goes, has a fucking comeback, gets on top of the
Yeah.
fucking world, and then like
Yeah.
dies on the fucking toilet. Like, I'm not talking shit. Like, I would kind of like to fucking die taking a fucking shit, especially after a fried peanut butter and fucking peanut butter sandwich, you know?
It's iconic.
Banana and peanut butter. Sorry.
Yeah. His special sandwich. And I was reading about his wife. I forgot her name so bad. But yeah, he married her, and she was way younger than him, right? She was like a
Oh,
teenager or
yeah.
something.
Tommy was saying he was a pedo.
Yeah.
I think it's
And
a little
like,
bit different with the age because, like, back then it was okay to get married when you're 13.
yeah.
Not excusing it, but
And back then it was culturally like acceptable.
yeah. Well, I mean, back then you're supposed to die when you're fucking 38 too. So I mean,
Yeah, that too. Weird. And then Michael Jackson is a pedo as well, apparently, right?
yes, and it's kind of weird because like I've seen really convincing arguments on both sides of that, and whether or not he was a pedophile, like he's still a weird guy, but.
Hmm. If you have that level of fame and that amount of money and that amount of prestige, it's gonna affect you
Mm-hmm.
in some fucked up way. Like there's no person that can have that much money and be centered as fuck
Oh
and
yeah, no,
power.
like I know for a fact if I had that much money, I'd be doing some evil shit. And by
Yeah,
evil,
I
I
probably
mean
would
like
too.
I would build a castle in fucking East Europe and like get Elon Musk to like build me something that looks like I was shooting lightning out of my hands and just like
Yeah.
go fuck with fucking villagers for no reason because fuck them. Like, dude, we're in Belarus. Fuck them, you know?
Fuck them all. Oh my god. Michael Jackson was
I don't think that means
was
that.
he?
I mean, probably.
Need
I
to
mean,
go.
but seriously, Grace, you need to go to the Grand Ole Opry. You need to go to the Grand Ole Opry. That's a fucking.
Yeah.
I've been outside of it. I haven't been in it.
It's cool.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
the
no, I'm
outside is
definitely coming.
yeah. Well, it's weird though because so the Grand Ole Opry, they country fucking music, like this is where you play if you want to beat anybody,
Mhm.
But they also have like their Hall of Fame and like the members. And Hank Williams was never a member of it. Like they don't acknowledge him as a fucking member of it. Like he's not part of the Grand Ole Opry because he was so much of a rebel and fuck him.
Mhm.
But there's still a statue of him out front of the building.
He's still here, but he's not.
Yeah, it's like, hey, listen, we're gonna acknowledge this guy, but we're not gonna let him in.
He's not allowed in. He has to stand outside.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Yeah. No, there are so many amazing things I would like to do. But yeah, America seems crazy right now, and Australia's in a complete lockdown. So we.
Oh yeah, like wait till like 2023, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, I should be able to save enough money to go there then. Because yeah. Oh, now I know everyone wants us to talk about music. I promise we'll talk more about music. But I want to know, do you think Trump will be reelected?
Probably, yeah.
American?
Yeah, I think so. And the biggest reason for that is the people that vote for Trump aren't voting for him off of his platform. They're voting for him as a kickback to what the left is fucking doing.
Okay.
So they're like, hey, listen, the media is doing this, and I hate the fucking media. You know what would really piss them off? If Trump got reelected. So I'm going to vote for him just to say, fuck you. Yeah. Which, like, I understand. I don't agree with it. I understand it. Like, I'm voting for fucking Joe Jorgensen, who's like a third party, not going to fucking win. But
yeah,
that's where my fucking shit's going anyway.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, like, I really do because, one of the things that went into this was when we had, say, like Obama, right? He pushed the country really hard, fucking progressive, and it was more than the country was ready for. So this is like a backlash to it. And that's kind of like a fucked up thing anyway, because like a lot of people like to fucking like what's the word? Idealize Obama, and it's a really fucking unjustifiable fucking thing. I think anyway, because it's like, oh yeah, Obama, really fucking super aggressive, and it's like, yeah, dude, that dude was like totally okay with like killing 75 fucking people in fucking Pakistan to like get rid of like one terrorist. So it's like, we're gonna kill one terrorist, but like kill this entire like wedding party, or like bomb a fucking hospital, or like, I don't know, destabilize an entire fucking region. But he's black and he's our first black president, so that's okay. A lot of people don't think of it like that, but like his thing was like he pushed the country really far to the left, and like the pendulum swinging back, and it's not like a back as in reverse time. It was like, this is where America actually is, but we perceived it as going here, and that was a little bit too much. And let's dial it fucking back a bit, because we don't want to deal with that kind of
that
shit. Yeah. And then like his other shit was just like his like domestic policies were a fucking giant fucking failure, like not even fucking thought of the right way. Because like we had what is it, like they call it Obamacare, but like the Affordable Care Act, where we were trying to do like socialized healthcare, which in theory, sure, but all it really did was make it illegal to not have health insurance. So it made it to where if you had health insurance, it made it a little bit cheaper. But if you didn't have health insurance, then you got fined several $1,000s for not being able to afford health insurance. But the way that the news spun it, because our news is fucking propaganda. It was like, this is the greatest thing. This is the holy grail of what we should be doing. And it's like, if you actually look at this fucking plan for plan, this is worse than shit they do in fucking Uganda. This is not a fucking good thing, but the news is going to make it look like it's good. So, because, propaganda. So
that's really difficult.
Yeah, and like the fucking thing is with that is like I really agree with a lot of, I guess, what you would say, like the wacko fucking leftists fucking think about shit. I just don't agree with how we should pay for it. And I think a lot of people are on that where it's like, hey, listen, so we're gonna do say for the fucking sake of fucking argument, socialized healthcare, which again, America, big problem. But it's like, okay, so we can't afford to pay for this, so we're gonna like tax the fuck out of everybody to do this.
Yeah.
But beforehand, we were already getting taxed as if we were paying for that. And then we're gonna give you something subpar. So it's like I'm paying, like compare us to like, fucking Sweden or Norway or Denmark or the Scandinavian gold countries, whatever the fuck you want to call them. We're getting taxed more than them to do that, but we're not getting the fucking benefits from it. And then with the Obamacare thing, it makes it illegal to not have the basic level of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And your wage,
like what Nate was saying is like I couldn't afford Affordable Health Care Act, so I had to stick with a VA, which is fucking terrible. Also, the ACA never technically passed. Fucking yeah. So
we need to. Yeah, we have Medicare in Australia, so you get a certain amount of money for like dentists or medicals, and they take a percentage of your bill. And the bills are nowhere near as expensive in America as well. And that's what our taxes pay for, and that's why we have a really good healthcare system.
Yeah.
But our current government is trying to push for, we're going to do tax cuts, but they're tax cutting because they're privatizing everything and then taking money out of social services. And then we're going to have similar problems to what America's seeing right now.
Yeah, no, and like one of the things with that though too is like I don't know how it is in Australia, but like in America, I think we would benefit from making it more private, but also making it more exposed. Because like right now, like if you go to a hospital, you don't know what the fuck you're going to pay. You just show up and then afterwards you get the fucking bill. However, if you could be like, hey, listen, I'm going to go to hospital A, talk to these people, and then I don't like your price, so I'm going to go to hospital C. Don't like them, go to hospital D. If you could like price check, or like if you could see what the fuck they charge you for it, that would be a big fucking thing. Because like what is it, like saline, like the bottle or the sack of fucking like salt water they like plug into your fucking arm, like that shit, like I think 30 fucking cents a bag. But if you go to the hospital, that's like 50 or 75 fucking dollars, which is bullshit. But if we like exposed like the like I don't want to say price gouging because that's not the right word, but like what they charge you for it, and it's like hospital A is doing this, hospital B is doing this, hospital C is doing this. Hospital A, if I go there for a fucking root canal and get a fucking IV, that's fucking $70 for the fucking bag of water. But if I go to hospital C, it's $5. I'm gonna go to hospital C, and like it would drive down the thing. So like my biggest problem with the anti-capitalism fucking argument is that, and God, I fucking hate myself for this because I'm gonna sound like a fucking complete fucking communist. But we don't have real capitalism here. We have crony fucking whatever fucking these corporations are paying the fucking government to say is okay. Bullshit fucking capitalism. And it's that weird middle ground on the between like you have like complete rightist, complete leftists. We have this bullshit up here that shouldn't fucking exist in the fucking first place. But corporatism, yes. Cody Post, corporatism, yes. Yeah, our government doesn't control shit. Fucking the businesses and corporations do.
Yeah, nah, that's weird as. Seance. I think someone's asking me. Australia, they have public access. Yeah, we have public access. We have private hospitals as well. Like there are like Catholic hospitals which are private. And the nurses and doctors in the private sector usually get paid more. The docs do more, those who pay. So it depends what part of society you're in. So if you're on social welfare, you usually have free dental and you have free like general health. So you can go to the doctor and you can get your prescriptions and it's free or it's majorly subsidized. And then
Is medical and dental different things in Australia?
yes. So it's
That's
like general. Yeah.
yeah,
So
it is
general.
tier two, and I want to fucking meet the motherfucker that decided that that was a fucking thing because fucking a toothache can kill it. Ramsey's the fucking great died of a fucking
Yeah,
tooth
that's
infection.
right. He did. I studied that in high school.
Yeah.
I remember putting that in my essay. I felt like I had a big brain. Seth wants you to read the comment about him getting fined.
Uh, dude, you might have to, Matt. You might have to fucking say it again. Fucking, I had VA healthcare and still got fined by the Affordable Care Act. Yeah, no, that sounds about right. Yeah, yeah, no. So that means he got medically separated from the fucking military, and when you get medically separated from the military, you're supposed to have free fucking healthcare, but they'll still fuck you with it.
Mm.
It's like, hey, listen, fucking, I got injured serving the fucking country in a fucking war zone, but you know, hold on, my camera's being shitty. But you know, because fucking the law says this.
I'm not helping you. That's so
Yeah.
dog. That's crazy. One of my best friend, her dad was in the Marines and he was like one of the high up dudes. Like he wasn't on the battle, he was like a lawyer. And
Oh.
he has the healthcare and he's got kids and they get to go to college like for free and they get like a certain amount of money because of how long he served.
We have something similar to that. However, you have to have been shot.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, no, so like if you get shot, like your kids go to college for free. Which I mean, granted, yeah, got it. That's actually a good thing. We should be doing that, but you know,
Maybe you're shot. I'm not sure. What was
I don't know
when
if
you
that
were
should be the
doing
bottom. I don't know if that should be the bottom of the bar, but like I think that much should be acceptable. You know?
yeah, yeah. When you were serving and you were doing like the videography or photography, so did you see like the battles? Like you saw some fucked up shit?
Yeah, yeah. No,
Yeah. Is that okay? I don't want
yeah,
to
no,
go
no.
into
We can go into that.
bad.
I my reservations are on. I don't know if you're comfortable with what I'm about to say.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So like,
Yeah.
I want you to be comfortable with the can of worms you're opening.
Okay. I don't want to go too deep because I think everyone wants us to talk about music, but like I want to know like what were you documenting? Like what kind of things were you documenting?
So, yeah, a lot of that fucking, a lot of people shooting people and breaking people's shit. I used my, I guess, job position to get to fucking places. Like, so it's like, hey, these people are doing this, these people are doing this, these people are doing this.
Mm-hmm.
My job's kind of like just to hang out here to fucking take photos. However, hey, Commander A, your guys are gonna go be doing this shit. You need pictures of that shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Send me. Let's fucking go.
Let's go. Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, like, and then like fucking that got me into a lot of places that were like good to be at, and a lot of places that I probably shouldn't have been at. But
Okay.
it's, I don't know, kind of a conundrum, maybe. Fucking,
Yeah.
I don't know, like, I'm not sure how to fucking word it. Um, I don't regret anything. How about that?
Okay.
Um,
Did you ever have to partake?
so, um, common misconception about that job is that like you go out there with them and you have a camera and your body armor and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
However, like in reality, fucking you're out there with a fucking group of people that you don't fucking know. Like you're the fucking new guy fucking constantly and you have to find a way to fucking fit in. And there's a few ways to fucking fit in.
Yeah.
One of them is having fucking tobacco because everyone either fucking chews or fucking dips or fucking smokes. And if everyone's out of that shit and you're the new guy and you show up, it's like, hey, dude, I got smokes. You're everyone's fucking best friend, which is a fucking great get into the fucking door. The second part of that is when you go into like go do shit, fucking everyone's carrying a lot of fucking shit. You're carrying ammunition, you're carrying fucking missiles, you're carrying fucking food or medical equipment or fucking like anti fucking explosive fucking material, fucking detection, fucking device shit.
Yeah.
And one of the ways to fucking fit in is like, yeah, dude, I'll carry the extra ammo. I'll carry fucking, a couple fucking missiles. I'll carry fucking, whatever. And that gets you to be your friend. So like, imagine like you and like 5 of your friends, right?
Mm-hmm.
Between y'all, you literally have half of a ton of shit to carry.
Oof, yeah.
Some other random asshole shows up with a camera and this dude's job is to take pictures of you, right? You don't give a shit this guy's taking pictures of you because your job is twofold. Your job is to kill the enemy while not getting killed, which are both the same level of fucking extreme.
Mm-hmm.
But random asshole with camera shows up. He's got a couple cigarettes and he wants to carry half of this dude's fucking weight.
Yeah.
So show up with smokes, carry people's fucking shit. But the other thing is though too is like you're not there with a camera. You also have your own fucking gun. You have your own fucking ammunition. You've got your own camera fucking equipment to fucking carry and shit.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is like, it's not like it is in the fucking movies. Cause like, in the movies, like, good guy shooting, good guy shooting, bad guy falls down dead. It's not like that. Like everybody is shooting at fucking everybody. Shit's blowing up all over the fucking place. You don't know what the fuck you did.
Yeah.
Just fucking, absolute chaos, I guess is the fucking right word.
Yeah.
Like, so, it was in August of 2008, right? Fucking, so we're rolling up in our fucking trucks. We're fucking going into this fucking compound. The truck I was in, the truck to begin with is like, like armored, like the glass is like this fucking thick. The metal's fucking this thick. The truck at its max speed goes fucking 40 miles a fucking hour because that's all the fuck you can drive it because it's so weighted down. And that's like on a highway. Mm-hmm. But there's like one fucking road in Afghanistan. So the rest of it, you're just like fucking driving on dirt or like rolling up to this fucking place. And, fucking RPG fucking hits our front fucking like passenger seat fucking thing. I ended up being deaf for 2 days after this because even though, explosion didn't get into it, sound is still a fucking thing.
Yeah.
But we get out, we're fucking doing our thing. People are shooting at us. We're shooting back at them. And one of the things I remember, which this might be a little bit morbid, but I remember there's this fucking dude, he was shooting at us, fucking got up. And as soon as he got up, I fucking pop off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And this dude keeps fucking running. I'm like, all right, well, I don't deserve to be in the fucking Marine Corps because I just shot at this dude 9 fucking times, didn't fucking hit him. Mm-hmm. Anyway, fucking about a half hour later, we get up there. This dude's like on the ground fucking dead. And like, I'm like, that's bullet hole 1, bullet hole 2, bullet hole 3. So I did shoot this guy 9 times.
And you just kept going.
What the fuck? But they're also, fucking on like meth and shit or whatever fucking their version of fucking meth is. But
yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's fucking wild. So yeah, you would be there, and if something went down, you would be in.
Yeah. Yeah. Like my only regret that I have from Afghanistan is we were doing a fucking we call it a cordon, which was pretty much like, we have a line. You can't come across this line. I don't care if you're a villager, you're fucking crossing this, whatever. You turn around, you go the fuck the other way. And me and this interpreter were on the fucking post. And this guy comes up and he starts talking about fucking, this, that, whatever. Hey, dude, no. I'm just trying to get through. I'm like, nah, dude, you have to fuck off. And he's like, no, I have to come through. And I'm like, dude, if you take another step forward, I have to fucking shoot you. So do me a favor and fuck off. And the dude fucks off. But they all talk on, like walkie-talkies to like communicate and like fucking I don't think I'm breaking anything. This is like 10 years old now, but like we all have the technology to listen to what the fuck they're listening to
Yeah.
or like talking on because they're talking on like like dollar store walkie talkies and
Yeah.
we're using like shit the fucking CIA
Millions.
US to fucking
Yeah.
whatever. And then like 30 minutes later, it's like, oh, that dude was a suicide bomber. He had a suicide vest on. He's gonna blow you up if he can get through here. My only regret is like, fuck, I totally wish I fucking brought that dude a little bit closer so I could have shot him. But
Yeah. That's the power of hindsight,
yeah,
I guess. That's
and
fucked.
it's gonna be great to say hindsight's 2020, but coronavirus. So
Yeah.
actually, fucking, give me a second. Send.
Tommy, I think my links are in there. You can find me on Instagram at that one wicked girl, and you can find my band on Instagram as well at My Safe Word is Murder, and you can find us on Spotify at My Safe Word is Murder. No one else has that name. So
Yeah, no, but I wrote down a fucking video my buddy fucking made to fucking send you to, I guess,
yeah,
put
and
in
that,
context. So
yeah, that's crazy. It's really difficult, for me because obviously I'm not in America and I
right.
never served, but it is very interesting and I would like to understand it more and the kind of mindset that you're put in. And then you're put in that mindset where you're under all these different kinds of threats in this totally foreign environment and then they just bring you back home. And you guys don't have much support, do you? They just
Um.
drop you back in.
Yeah. Yes and no. It's kind of weird because like everyone's like, hey, support the troops, but all the support the troops really means is like we're gonna give you a discount at fucking Applebee's.
Yeah. What does that
Like
do?
that. Yeah, it doesn't really fucking do anything. Like my biggest criticism towards that is like, hey, you support the troops, cool, give me a job. No.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. I see where you stand on that. But yeah, no. The thing is, like people like to glamorize war, but like no one likes to talk about it. And like every time somebody like brings it up
Mm.
with someone that's been there, they say one too many things. Like I regret having that fucking conversation. And then, it's like, yeah, no, we support the troops. Like, all right, cool. So what does that mean? Oh, we're gonna
Yeah.
give you a discount on this. It's like, all right, cool. Well, I'm looking for a job. It's like, nah, we don't like
That's
crazy
what I
people
mean.
here. It's like, wait. So you support the troops, which I'm a troop. Can I get a job? No. Okay. All right. Cool. Got it, buddy.
That's fucked up.
Dude, nah, like, yeah, it's fucked up, but it's not at the same time. Like, fucking, it's one of those things where it's like you realize people are full of shit,
Okay.
but people are always full of shit. So, like,
Mhm.
why should you feel special? Like, one of the biggest things about like people that I know anyway, I can't speak for everybody, just like me and like my closer group of fucking friends,
Mhm.
is I don't want to be treated any fucking different than anybody else.
Okay.
And it's like fucking let's have a fucking conversation about this, that, or whatever. And like maybe we get a little bit too deep into it. And I talk to you about like when my buddy fucking stabbed the guy to fucking death.
Mm.
But after that, like I
Don't
just
care
wanted to
about
be
it.
I just wanted you to I just want you to treat me like fucking anybody the fuck else.
Yeah.
But there's this fucking stigma with shit.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I can definitely see that. Nate wants to know how I got into music.
I want to know how you got
Okay.
the music too, Grace. Let's
Okay.
shift this a little bit fucking to the left.
Sorry, guys. I'm just really interested in that. That's what I wanted to talk about. Music. Okay, how did I get in? So I grew up in country Victoria, country Australia, and my dad listened to a lot of punk rock vinyls and he listened to Beastie Boys and he listened to Fleetwood Mac and all that good stuff, the Stooges. And so I was brought up around that and I would lean towards heavier music and I remember like my friends would be listening to Justin Bieber and I'd be listening to Tool and that was kind of like my kind of thing. Um
I
and
feel you.
then when I yeah, yeah.
Dude,
Well,
no,
cool
like
kids.
like all my friends be listening to fucking excuse me, sorry, like fucking like Blink 182, and I'm still listening to fucking Megadeth.
Yeah, 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 exactly. Yeah, 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 totally. Yeah, so that's why I started listening to heavy music because of my dad. And then when I was around 12 or 13, like I always sang, but I didn't get lessons or anything. And I was never like, I was in the choir in like primary school. I went to like a Catholic primary school. And so we had to go into choir, like to sing at church. But I was never special, and I didn't get any good roles or anything because I was like a disturbed, traumatized little child, and it wasn't a good look. um, and then eventually, when I was like 12 or 13, I experienced some like crazy stuff in my life, and I was just like, I have no one to talk to. I'm gonna write. And so I started writing, and I would write poems, and then they would turn into songs, and I would sing them. And then I started singing to a couple people, and they were like, "Oh shit, like you can sing." And I was like, and they're like, "No, like you can actually really fucking sing." And then when I was 16, I had my first singing lesson, and my vocal coach was just like, "What the fuck?" She was like, "Where have you come from?" And I was like, "My bedroom." Like no one's heard me sing.
Wait.
Um,
So did you develop in your bedroom the bend and scream?
Bend and scream, pretty much. Definitely that one. Definitely that part. That was definitely developed in my bedroom. Um, but yeah, so I was classically trained. So I was trained by this classical like music theater chick. And then it got to a point where I was like, I fucking hate this. Get me out. Like if I had to sing one more like Disney song or something, I was gonna like blow my brains out. And so
Well, you
um
didn't like singing fucking song as old as time.
yes. Yeah. And like Ariel, like the songs in Ariel. And I was like, oh man, I hate this shit. And I would bring her songs, and I was like, hey, I want to learn this Marilyn Manson song, and I want to sing Depeche Mode. Like this is stuff I want to do. But she just didn't know to how to like approach it. She was like, "Oh, I don't know what to do." But I will say, being classically trained meant that I learned how to breathe properly, and I learned how to stand. And when it came to me learning that I was a rock musician, that I had that power to back it up, and I'm not going to damage myself. So that was great. And then I got into this music class when I was in year 10, which I don't know the equivalent that is uh, in America, but I was like
Probably
16,
10th grade.
17.
Yeah, 10th
Yeah.
grade sounds about right. Like, because you have like
Yeah.
12 year, right?
Yeah. We have 12, yeah.
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 So yeah, same thing. We just call it 12th grade instead of year 12.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, I got into a music class, and I had this music teacher, and her name was Frances. And I still talk to her. She's amazing. And I sang to her, and I don't know, I was probably sang her some shitty fucking song that I learned from my singing teacher. And she was like, oh my God. And then she was like, I want you to sing Zombie by the Cranberries. And I think that was the first time someone gave me
Hey,
like a rock song. Yeah, and I'm Irish as well. So and she was Irish, and she was like, "You should be singing this stuff." Um and then she was like, "You're not meant to be on your own. You're meant to be in a band, and you're meant to be a front woman." And so she put me in my first band, and I never really thought that I would be able to sing in front of anyone. And then I learnt Heart Shaped Box by Nirvana. And then I learnt Zombies by the Cranberries, and I learned a couple other songs. And then she put me outside one lunchtime at high school, and I sang, and people were just like, "Whoa, whoa, that came from you." And then that was just like a trajectory. After that, I started getting booked to play at different gigs, and then it was people would hear me sing, and they saw the way I looked, and I didn't like I'm slowly becoming my person right now, but I used to have like long blonde hair and this nice little girl. Uh, but I didn't want to be that. And people wanted me to sing pop songs, and people wanted me to get with like a DJ and do pop shit. And I was like, I fucking hate it, but I don't know how to
yeah,
say no.
yeah. Pop music is fucking terrible. Like,
Yeah, and I'm sure that I would reach a lot more people, and I would be a lot more popular if I did do pop music, but I just can't. It's just not in me. Maybe when I'm older it might be, but right now that makes my skin crawl.
yeah, no, like I would say like in the last 50 fucking years, the only pop musician that was like worth their fucking salt was like Lady Gaga. But like besides
Yeah.
that, like and like Lady Gaga fucking rocks. But besides her, like
Yeah. Yeah,
shove
yeah,
that
yeah,
shit out
yeah.
my fucking ear.
It's just like they're all the same. Nate said pop music is amazing. Look what it did for Avril. You.
She was a skater boy. I said, see you later, boy.
Yeah, no, definitely. That was a bit sad. Um, yeah, so I went through that battle and I still wasn't playing guitar at this point. So now I'm like 17 and people are trying to make me do pop music. And then I moved to a different school, and this school I moved to do my final year in high school was very music focused, and that's why I wanted to go.
Mhm.
And then my music teachers, they heard my voice and they were like, "Why are you not singing blues?" And I was like, "Blues? What is blues?"
No, I think you'd be fucking really good at the fucking blues. You get the like
Yeah.
good fucking like raspy fucking voice for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, so they started getting me to do blues music. And then I did a couple like blues shows, and people were really receptive and they really liked it. And I did enjoy it, but I still was trying to find who I was as a songwriter. And I was like, I'm doing too many covers. I don't want to do covers. I don't want to be a cover band. I don't want to sing like 90s songs and just live in the past. I want to do my own stuff. And so then I started in my final year writing every day, just writing, and I got myself a band. And this isn't My Safe Word Is Murder's my band before, which was called Flora. And so I got myself going with them, wrote all this music. And then one day I got booked to do this gig, and they were like, "Look, we're going to book you, we're going to pay you X amount, but we need you to play guitar." And I was like, "Yeah, no problem." Never fucking picked up guitar in my life. Like, never,
Guitar's not hard.
never. I know, but like I had this gig booked and I don't know how to play guitar, and they want me to play this set amount of time, and I was just like, fuck. So I learned how to play like 4 chords in a couple months. I think I had like 2 months to prepare, and so I wrote all these songs with like 4 chords that I knew. And ever since then I just been playing guitar, and that's how I write my music now. I write it with guitar, but I'm still shit. Like, not very good, but
It happens.
one day.
Yeah.
But
No,
yeah,
that's the beauty of punk. That's
yeah,
the beauty of punk music. It's like,
yes.
"Hey, this sucks." Like, yeah, it was supposed to. Fuck you.
It's supposed to suck. Fuck you, man. Yeah. So that's how I kind of got started. And people think I'm like 25, but I'm only 19. Like, I'm 20 next month.
Shit,
So
really? I thought you were older than
yeah,
that.
yeah, everyone thinks I'm older. I've lived quite
Whoa,
a life.
what was all that shit about not being able to go to bars? What's the fucking drinking age in Australia?
18.
Oh, well, okay, all right.
Yeah. No, I can go into bars.
Yeah, no,
I
it's
can go into
it's
bars.
21 here. So,
I think that's better because your brain doesn't stop like developing until you're 21.
I don't think that's better, but I also knew a lot of fucking like 19-year-olds that got killed in Afghanistan. It's like, well, these guys can't have beers.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. But you guys can drive from the age of like 16, can't you?
Wait, hold on. When are you allowed to drive?
So we have like a permit system, so you can get your learners, like this L plate that you put on the back of your car when you're 16, but you have to drive with like a guardian, someone that has their full license. So you do that, and then you have certain amount of hours you have to fill up, like in a logbook. I think it's like you have to have 100 or 200 hours of driving before you go into your P plate, and then you can drive on your own. And then I can't remember what it's like in colors. So there's a green and a red P plate. You get one of them first, and then you drive on that for a certain amount of time. Then you get your other P plate, and then finally you get your full license,
Yeah, we did that at 15.
which might be like 21, 20 or 21.
Yeah, we did that at like 15. So like,
Yeah. Yeah, we don't have that.
yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
We can
All
drink at
right.
18.
Oh, yeah, I guess good for y'all. But anyway, fucking, we're at our fucking time limit. So fucking Gracie, fucking good fucking talking to you.
Thank you. Yeah, I had heaps of fun. Thank you everyone for like being really communicative in the
Also,
chat.
where can they find you?
You can find me, like my Instagram, at that one wicked girl. That's where I post all my stuff, and there's always updates. And then if you want to follow my band, you can follow us at My Safe Word Is Murder on Instagram, and you can find us up on any streaming services that you use for music as well. And you can listen
Or
to
if
our
you want to
singles
find that on fucking iTunes and
on
just
iTunes.
download that to your fucking phone.
Yeah, bitch, find it. My Safe Word Is Murder. Anything for the band on YouTube. We our song's up on YouTube. So if you look up My Safe Word is Murder, you'll see our first single, but we are way more active on Instagram. That's where we've been able to reach people more. But yeah, you can find us on there. But yeah, come find me. I always reply to messages. So if you want to talk or have any more questions, you can find me on there as well.
Yeah.
On Instagram.
All right,
But
well,
thank you for having me. That was
dude,
fun.
thanks for being on. It was a fucking good time. All right.
Yeah, sick. All right. Peace out, people.